us mindful that these are true servant leaders that absolutely believe in service above self. It is in your holy name that we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, if you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Paul. And now for introduction of guests. Do we have guests with us? If you raise your hand. Got one at the back.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to introduce Michelle Young. She just started working with us at SyncLab Media. She's a social media marketing specialist and also an artist and an author.
Any other guests? Yes.
I guess I'm a guest of myself. I'm visiting from another chapter. So my name is Patrick News. I'm a mortgage banker here, and the chapter I belong to is in East Texas and Nacogdoches, but I'm a resident here of Dallas, too. My wife and I split our time here. So thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Glad to have both of you with us today. Come back again. Anybody else? No, that's it? Thank you, Richard. Hold on to it. Yeah. And now Patsy Watson will have our marketplace advertiser for the week.
Today's marketplace advertiser is Kathy Wall. She's our local State Farm agent, proudly serving Highland Park, University Park, and the surrounding Dallas area. In her 29 years as a State Farm agent, Kathy has built a dedicated insurance team of 12 personable insurance professionals. While State Farm approaches the company's 100-year anniversary this year, Kathy and her team have more than 160 years of combined insurance experience to help customers with auto, home, commercial, life, health, and financial services. The agency also has alliances with Rocket Mortgage, True Panion Pet Insurance, Haggerty Classic Cars, and Jackson National. With integrity, enthusiasm, and empathy, Kathy and her team come to work ready to help their clients each day. Their mission is to help people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. She is passionate about protecting people and loves working with new teen drivers, which I think is an amazing statement because when I was a teenager, I wouldn't want to insure myself, so I'm impressed. She also loves supporting our local businesses and paying it forward to the new generation of professionals and small business owners. So call Kathy Wall on Lover's Lane. She can't wait to serve you. Please thank Kathy for her support of the Hub and our club. I also want to say, if you have not yet purchased your hat, or if you've already purchased your cap, I'm over there. I'll be out there after the meeting, and I can give it to you. If you have not, or some people have already got them. If you have not, you can go online to our website and get them, or Happy's in all her last emails, she's had an attachment to be able to order them, so be sure to order your hats, okay? Thank you, and I don't want to take any of your stuff here. Okay. I've done that before.
Thank you, Patsy. And now it's time for Happy Bucks. Even though Happy is not here today, we can still have Happy Bucks. How about some joys out there? We've talked about concerns, but I know we have some joys. Let's talk about those a little bit.
It was approximately 10 years ago that this man, Paul PIROK, invited me to be in this wonderful, best club in the whole world, and I wanted to contribute for that.
And this club has not been the same since. So.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Well,
Oh, Rosemary.
where's Rose? Hey, Rosemary.
Special guest here today. So
Thank you. I'm just happy to be here and wonderful to be amongst all of you. And would like to take one little minute to plug a concert that many of you know. Many of you know Yuri Ancelevich, who's just such a wonderful cellist with our symphony for so many years and has played at the churches of many of you who attend here. And he lost his wife a few weeks ago, and he is very bravely giving a recital at the Mesquite Arts Center, free one tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. Thank you.
very good. Thank you.
I'd like to, my joy is about myself. I am finally did my last greeting today. And Tom, I understand, but I'm very excited because Tom promises me that I'm not the longest standing red badge, but I think I was working on it. So
we'll be
cheers
looking
to me.
forward to you getting your blue badge next week then. I'm glad you're here. Good.
Any
Richard,
others?
while you're there, would you mind give Greg the microphone? Greg, would you give a proper introduction to Rosemary for us, please?
Yes.
Yes, Rosemary Domenke was a past president about 10 or 12 years ago. She's been a member over 25 years. God bless her, and right now she's moved back from Hawaii. She's here with us in Dallas and helping Alexander, her son, get acclimated to private school system here. Thank you.
Rosemary, good to have you back with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any others? Well, you know, I'll give it. It's really a joy for a life well lived. Larry Ferris kept a lot of people flying straight, literally, including my dad. And so I'm still alive as a result of that. So I may owe something to Larry, but he had a great life.
Amen to that. Thank you, Richard. And thank you all for joining in on Happy Bucks. Happy will be happy about that, I'm sure. So, and now, for our presentation of the public service honorees, Shawn Johnson, would you come forward, please?
Good afternoon. Good to see everyone. It's all right. It's okay. Yeah. Clap for yourselves, if nothing else. Just clap for yourselves. We made it through a storm, right? Well, we are just excited and to be able to present this month's honorees for our public servants. And as you all are aware, 9 months out of the year, we recognize public servants from the town of HP and the city of UP. And then 3 months out of the year, we recognize those being honored through HPISD. And so this is especially special to me this month because most of you know I am a parks professional, probably been in it too long, 25 plus years as a parks director. And so both of our honorees today serve in the parks department, which we like to say that's where we make stuff happen in parks, right? We make stuff happen. Everybody loves parks. And so we like to recognize, first of all, the town of HP, and that is Mr. Frankie Melendez. And his new supervisor, the assistant director, Ms. Chelsea Gordon, as of 1 week ago. So y'all be nice. She's brand new to the town of HP. Mr. Melendez has been with the town of Highland Park in the Parks Department for 16 and a half years. He was the 2018 Employee of the Year for his dedication to service, his camaraderie with coworkers, and his willingness to always volunteer to assist in any way he can. Frank is active in the HPCAN Employee Volunteer Group, often assisting with taking the canned food drive to the selected donation center or the Toys for Tots, or Toys to Toys for Tots. There is rarely ever a time that you will find him not smiling or encouraging others. Many of the town residents have gotten to know Frank when they see him in the parks working and have grown to love his gentle spirit and can-do attitude. He brings years of experience in landscaping and concrete work. He came to work with the town of Highland Park. His knowledge and skills are invaluable, as he is always thinking of creative solutions to problems that may pop up on the job. Frank lives in DeSoto with his wife and children, is now a doting grandfather to a new grandson, is a faithful Cowboys fan. That's a prerequisite in parks in Texas, if y'all didn't know that. You gotta be a Cowboys fan. Is a faithful Cowboys fan and one of the best storytellers on our staff. We would like to recognize Mr. Frank Melendez of the town of Highland Park. You can join us on stage. Join us on stage. And the supervisor as well. Thank you for your service. Now, our next honoree I'm totally excited about because I get the opportunity to see his face every day. He is an employee with the University Parks Department, and y'all have heard of MacGyver, right? You're looking at him. You're looking at him. I tell you, and that's Mr. Edwin Galvan. And our city manager is a little under the weather, Robbie Corder. He would have been here to recognize Edwin. But Edwin spent years with the city of Richardson, and then he figured it out that things are a little better in the Park City. So he hurried on over to the city of University Park. And so he joined us in August of 2018, and he quickly made a positive impact in the organization, serving in the Public Works Department. In December of 2020, he promoted to a park maintenance lead position with the Parks and Recreation Department. He brings a wonderful combination of experience, expertise, passion, attention to detail, and humor to work every day. Affectionately referred to as Mr. Fix-It, because there is nothing that Edwin can't fix or construct. Be it concrete, electrical, plumbing, and anything else mechanical, Edwin is our guy. He is such an asset to the Parks Department as he accomplishes the highest quality work while simultaneously cross-training other young Park Department employees. Since Edwin joined our team, he has completed a large variety of projects that are critical to making our parks safe, properly functioning, and aesthetically pleasing. Edwin and his wife welcomed a new baby boy, Jaden, to their family last May 2021. Originally from a beautiful tropical island off the coast of the Honduras. I've been asking him to take me with him when he goes on vacation. He has consistently found encouraging others and bringing positive energy in every situation. Edwin Galvan is a true asset to the city and has played a tremendous role in advancing the Parks and Recreation Department to the next level, and it is with great honor that he is recognized today. The man of the hour, Mr. Edwin Galvan.
Congratulations, and thank you for all you do for UP and HP and the whole community, so thank you all very much. And now, Tanya Boughton has an update for us on the SNIDER Plaza tree lighting. Shawn, Tanya?
Surprise, I have something to say. So we raised more money last year than we have ever. Scrambled a little bit at the last minute. Don't get too excited because we did also see the highest increase in prices, with some of our things being about 30 to 40% higher than we are. Is this than we're used to? I'm kind of doing a squat up here, but anyways, so that being said, a lot of our sponsors have already recommitted for next year, and we've also signed on a couple of sponsors who are asking for a 5-year commitment and are willing to write a larger check for that. So next year looks to be, or this year technically, to be really amazing. And then another fun little thing that just popped up that I talked to Edwin about is a SEAL golf tournament with a nonprofit that has asked me to chair, and that's either going to be in the fall or the spring, and we're thinking that might be something fun to jump on board and maybe sponsor a hole and, you know, have a photo booth and do all of that. So if anybody's interested, you know, we're laying the groundwork now. Let me know on that, and thanks everyone for supporting the tree lighting, and yay, Rotary.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to make a brief, I guess, ask. We've been trying to raise money for the North Texas Food Bank online, and we've done a great job. So far, we've got about $1,200, which is really good. The food bank really needs to fill their coffers back up after last year. So we've had some very generous gifts to do that. The end of the program that we're doing is going to be the end of this month, which is, I believe, Monday. So if you could just go online, it's real easy. Just go online. You can give anything from, you can't give $1, but you can give maybe $10, $5, whatever, any amount, and help us out there. And we really appreciate it. And who was the gentleman over here that had the badge? I just saw a list. You are the longest running. I hate to call you out, but congratulations.
Hi, all. I'm going to be very brief because I know we're running short on time. A few weeks ago, I told you about the Rotary involvement with our 20 under 4. By the way, I'm Pat Martin. I'm with People Newspapers, your community newspaper. And a couple weeks ago, I told you all about our 20 under 40 program, which we are partnering with Park Cities Rotary. And we had 3 individuals from this club. I want to recognize them again real quickly that helped us in the process of selecting young individuals under 40 that are doing great things professionally and also in the service realm. And those individuals from this club is Shawn Abraham, Eric Harrison, and Tyler Holcomb, all fairly new members that volunteered to help us and did a great job with the selection process. So what I wanted to pitch a little bit today is we're going to use this program as a recruitment tool for this club. Our plan is to invite the 20 honorees on various dates throughout the year to come to a Friday meeting. Also, we're looking at this being a potential opportunity to benefit the Legacy of Leadership program, just bringing additional folks in to the fold. So what I'm asking today is if any of you all that are in a position as a business to help support this event. We are still looking for sponsorships. The event is March 31st to honor these individuals. And so if you're in a position to, with your company, to sponsor, I have some packets with me and you can see me afterwards, and we'd appreciate any help. It's going to benefit the club, and we'd love to have your participation. Thanks so much.
I'm just up here for a couple of quick sentences. I want to remind any new member that is still wearing their red badge as I look around the room and have not attended a new member orientation. There's one right after this meeting. We're going to get started right out here by the sign-in table and join us. It'll last about maybe 20, 30 minutes, but check that one off your list.
Thank you, Past President Barb. And Chris, don't let Stan give you a hard time. He almost didn't pass his pledgeship at all. So he has a short memory, too, as he said. So.
For what it's worth, I told Chris, Wayne Yodel has the all-time record.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was 7 years.
And Joy Gold. Joy, oh, you are here. I saw you come in. So Joy will give us her her membership minute now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joy, and I'm going to be doing a quick membership minute. So first, I want to say, was that not a great prayer that started us off in the meeting this morning? And so this was one of the things that really interested me in joining Rotary, people with same type of values that I was brought up with. And so I thought that that was a great way for us to kind of initiate and start our meeting. I've been a member of the Rotary Club for a little over 6 months, and during that time, I have done lots of great things. I've been volunteering with the North Texas Food Bank. I was actually in the parade holding the banner, and now I'm a part of the Legacy of Leadership program to kind of, you know, get in the pipeline to someday, maybe, who knows, we'll see what happens. But anyways, I come from a long line of Rotary members. My mom was a Rotarian, and I knew every Friday, do not call her between 12 and 1 o'clock because she was at some meeting that I didn't know anything about. So it's kind of become full circle to be here before you today, and I really enjoyed my time. So I would ask that if any of you all are visiting today, just keep coming back and see us and see how we do and how Rotary runs things, and hopefully you will be a member. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joy. It's a pleasure to have you in the club. And next on the agenda, let's see here. Just a couple of quick announcements. The DMA Madeline exhibit tour is this afternoon for some of you that have signed up for that. And then next set. Oh, that's right. Okay. Very good. But glad we made that announcement then. So, with that, I will turn the program over to Tom Swift, who has the pleasure of introducing our speaker for the day. Tom.
Thank you, Past President Fred, and great job, by the way. Muscle memory, right? One of the perks of our parade that a lot of people who are new to the club may not be aware of is that it really puts us front and center in the eyes of a lot of people in the community. And I include the Sheriff's Department. And because of the parade, we get great speakers like our local congressmen and like local state leaders. And in today's case, Sheriff Marion Brown. Real quickly, her resume is extensive. I'm going to let her do the talking today. I just want to mention that she graduated from UTA as a communications major. I think on a lark, she got hooked into the Duncanville Police Department about 34 years ago or so, and it seemed to stick because she rose up through the ranks, and then about 6 years ago joined the Sheriff's Department, where she now runs a group of 2,100 people. If you consider that Dallas County government has about 6,000 people, that means more than a third of them fall under her rank. So that's a big responsibility. Sheriff Brown takes pride in using her experience to educate the community, promote partnerships that foster genuine, positive relationships between police and the community. I want to welcome Sheriff Marion Brown to the podium and thank her for coming to visit with us today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for having me here today. I was looking at the invite that my assistant put on my calendar, and I was looking at the notes, and it said something about being funny. Okay. Well, I said, well, we can just go back and rework what it was that we were going to say and try to be funny, but I decided not to be funny. I'll just let you all have it as it is, and maybe you'll find a little humor in some of the things that I have to say. I am honored to be here today, so again, thank you for inviting me to participate today. As Tom has already said, yes, I have the pleasure of leading an organization which is the second largest detention system in the state of Texas. It is the 9th system in the United States. So it's a pretty big monster, sometimes I call it. But I'm proud to lead that organization. We tout 2,100 plus employees. I was sharing that. Oh, how's that? Is that better? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, you bet. No problem at all. I was sharing with Tom how I had come from a retirement, and I said, I have 3 people retiring just this week. And he said, well, I guess you're just 3 people short this week then, huh? I said, yeah, I am. But I have 3 people who are taking 100 years of experience with them. So it's real important to be there when it's time for them to change chapters in life. So that's what I was doing before I came here. But our budget is the biggest budget in Dallas County. Now, I know that's not humorous, but it's reality. It's $184 million of the county's budget that's dedicated to the Sheriff's Department. Well, why is this, you ask? Because we are the largest department in Dallas County. And as Tom has already said, 1/3 of the employees belong to the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. So we have a vast responsibility to see after people. And that's why, because it involves seeing after people. Recently, I was at a commissioner's court, and there was a gentleman who called in, and he said to the commissioners, he said, I'm demanding that you not increase the sheriff's budget. Not that I had asked, but he said, I'm demanding that you not increase her budget, and I'm demanding also that you tell her to release 1,200 people. That way, we can close a tower. I said, well, okay, that shows the lack of knowledge in how this thing actually operates. Let's say that we didn't have what we call a criminal code of procedure that says that the sheriff in the state of Texas is responsible for holding persons who have been charged with criminal offenses. Let's say we didn't have that. And let's say that I had this big key because, believe it or not, people imagine that I have this really big key that I walk around with and that I let people in and I let people out. Well, I'm afraid not. In fact, the only keys I have, they're little bitty, and I don't even know what these keys go to. I have to ask Diana, what do these keys go to? What is this one to? They say, you have a key, and it's, okay, well, which one does go to this door? But let's say that I had the ability to take my big key and go to the door and open the door and say, okay, there's a call for 1,200 people to be released. First of all, I had to decide, well, which 1,200 of the 5,000 would be the ones to leave, okay? But let's say I went there and opened the door. Okay, count them off. 1, 2, and we go all the way to 1,200. Well, that would still create a problem and still would not allow us to close one of our 3 towers. The reason being is because in a sheriff's department, there is a system called classification, and it means that certain offenders can't be around certain other offenders. It also means that men and women cannot be in ear or eyesight of one another. If you can believe that, yeah, it's legitimate. So even if we let 1,200 people out, It's not like we'd be able to close one of the towers, because one of the towers deals especially with minimal offenders. Then, of course, we have the one for maximum as well, and we can't put those together. So I was hoping that someone would call and share with that gentleman, as he demanded that we not increase the budget and that we let these people out and that we close a tower, that someone would educate him. And so this is why I take pride in educating the community as I go around. I want people to understand how it is that this works. We work at the Sheriff's Department by court orders. We don't have the liberty to just say, you know what, I like him. I like his hair. Let him go. That tie is working. I need you out of here because you kind of lighten things up. I don't have that option. We can't do that. And so I want our community to understand how it is that we operate. I've had the pleasure of being the sheriff in Dallas County since January 1 of 2018. I had the pleasure, if you want to call it that, of running 4 elections in a 3-year period. Because, as you know, Lupe Valdez was the previous sheriff, and she went to run for another office. By vacating that office, then I was appointed to fill that position, but then I had to run in order to stay in the position. So there I was. I had spent 26 years in law enforcement, but none of that included politics. So when she came in on a December morning, I should have known something was up, because she didn't come in early normally. And this morning she came in early, and she came to my office and she said, you know what, you ready? Because I'm going to do something different. And I looked at her and I'm thinking, what was I supposed to do that she told me to do? And she said, remember 3 years ago? And I thought, well, goodness, I don't remember yesterday. What are you talking about? She said, 3 years ago, when you came here, I said someday I might do something different. She said, today is that day, so I hope you're ready. And she walked out of my office, and it was exactly 3 months later that I would have to run for my first election. Talking about a lesson. But you know what? I'm happy I did it. I'm glad to be the sheriff. And the reason being is I feel that I have an opportunity to reach people both inside and out. As I share with the community what it is that the Sheriff's Department does. And you may find this interesting, but people generally don't know what a Sheriff's Department does. They generally don't know. They see police. And so I want to explain to people the difference between municipal police departments and a Sheriff's Department. I explain to them how the meat of the matter for a Sheriff's Department is detentions. And for us here in Dallas County, that's a large responsibility. We are responsible as sheriffs for the medical, the mental, and the dental care of anyone in our custody. That means we have to provide medical care. Now, just think about it in this room. How many people you say in this room? 75, maybe? Okay, let's say 75. Let's say half of that 75. We have daily medications that we must take. Some have 2, okay? Let's say that. And let's say that you need that medication on a daily basis in order to sustain you, okay? Think about it. If there are 5,000 people in our custody, and half of them, 2,500, need daily medications, guess who's charged with making sure that they get that? The sheriff. We have that responsibility. We are fortunate in Dallas County. You know why? Because we have embedded in our system the Parkland Hospital. The system is embedded in our towers. In fact, when I came to the Sheriff's Department in 2014, it was a vacant space, and somebody had already come up with an idea of making a big vacant space a hospital. And so I tell people now that if you were blindfolded and you were taken and you were dropped down in the midst of that space now, you would look around and you'd go, oh, this is a really nice hospital. Where are we? And then I'd have to break your heart and tell you that you were in the middle of our jail. Because that's what we have. So we make sure that everybody gets their medication. It's what I call a big wheel, and everybody has to turn at the same time. I tell our employees that you're all spokes, and everybody has a responsibility to turn the wheel in the same direction and at the same time. And as long as we're doing that, we're getting our work done. So we're also responsible to make sure that people have the mental care that they need, as well as the dental care. I'm proud to say that we have licensed mental, medical, and dental professionals who work in our system to make sure that we meet that responsibility. It is one that we don't take lightly. The Texas Commission on Jail Standards is the regulatory board in the state of Texas for all county jails. And once a year, they conduct what they call an unannounced inspection. Of course, I told you that our system is the largest in the state of Texas. We're second only to Harris County. Think about it. This is a city, okay? Around 7,000 people when you look at employees and inmates. So this is a city that we're managing. So once a year, at least once a year, the jail commission comes to see how it is. As my mother would say, just checking to see what condition your condition is in. They come to see how we're doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing. That recently happened. In fact, it happened last week, and I'll tell you about it here in a little bit. But what I want to say before I tell you about that is I want to tell you that you should be proud of the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. I don't take any credit. I give the credit to all of the people who work in the system. Because this week and 2-3 weeks ago, when there was ice on the ground and the media says, you should just stay at home, we don't have that option. It's not an option. We have to be there because it involves taking care of people. Making sure that people are okay, making sure that people are warm, that they are fed, that they have clothing, clean clothing. So it's not an option for us to stay at home. So I give credit to the men and women who work at the Sheriff's Department. I just have the pleasure of standing at the head and saying, oh yeah, I'm the sheriff, but it's really the men and women who work for me who do the work. So last week, the Texas Commission on Jail Standards showed up on Monday. Now, our system being big, if we were, let's say, Kaufman, well, I won't call out any other county. If we were a smaller county, they might go there that morning at 8 o'clock and be done by noon with their inspection, okay? Or they might go there 8 in the morning and spend the whole day, and 5 o'clock they're done with it. But our system does not allow for that type of inspection. Our system requires generally 4 investigators and a week at our facilities. So they generally show up on a Monday, and again, it's unannounced, so we don't know when they're going to show up. Ironically, last Monday I was saying, I wish they would just come on, for goodness sakes. And sure enough, the knock came on my door, and my assistant said, the commission's here. Well, I meant after I finished this, could they come? But there they were, so we do what we do. They spent all last week with us going through our systems, and there's a criteria that is set out that they go through to make sure that we're doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. I am embarrassed to tell you that we did not pass our inspection. And I want to not leave that there, because what I don't want is you to leave here and go, well, that's terrible. Sheriff, you guys are running a bad system. You couldn't even pass your inspection. That's not how it goes. As I said, there's a criteria that's set out. If you have 2 cells The rules that apply to 2 sales apply to 500. So it's a whole lot easier if you have 2 sales to do the work than it is if you have 500 spread through 3 buildings. However, in the past, we've been very good at doing what we were supposed to do. And here's how I know that we've been good at it. With the advent of COVID, it was the Dallas County Sheriff's Department that said, you know what, maybe we need to slow down or maybe even stop this in-person visitation every day, in person, until we can figure out how this thing moves, how this thing goes. It was the Dallas County Sheriff's Department that said, I need a daily report telling me the status of how many cases you have, how many have tested, any other information. It started here in Dallas County. It was the State Jail Commission that called us and said, hey, so that form that you guys are using to transmit information, can we have that? Sure, why not? We would later learn that it was used statewide. And as you know, not only did the Jail Commission, but our governor at one point said, we need to stop this in-person visitation for right now until we can make sure that everybody can be safe. I share that with you again because I want you to understand that we are doing a good work at the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. When I say to you that we did not pass our inspection, it sounds really sad and it can be discouraging, and in fact it is discouraging to our people. And so I find myself having to encourage our people after 1 week of inspection, because I know the work that they do. I know that they were there on those ICE days. I know that they're going to be there on those next ICE days. I know that they're making sure that people who need to make their medical appointments and get to the hospital part, get to the clinic part of the facility, get there. I know what they do. And so I have to encourage them. I told them last week, on Friday when we briefed out and they told us what the result of our inspection was, I told our employees, I said, I need you to remember something. There were 3 things that we were gigged on. And I said, I need you to remember something. For every one of those 3 things that they gigged us on, you do hundreds right. So I need you to be encouraged. And that's not just me saying that. That is fact. Here's what we were gigged on. Let me find the page here so I can share it with you, because I said that I appreciate sharing information, educating the community. I want to make sure that I share with you what it was that we had issue with in our inspection. The first thing was laundry. We had, prior to last Friday, a system where one shift was responsible to bring laundry over from our laundry facility. See, I got way off of my thing here and didn't even get to tell you all of the things I wanted to say. But we have an off-site facility for laundry and kitchen. And so we bring laundry over on one shift. The next shift is responsible to distribute the laundry to inmates. When inspectors came through, I told you we're responsible for the mental well-being of individuals, right? Did I also tell you that 1/3 of our inmates at any given time have mental health issues? And that's real unfortunate, because that makes us a houser of people who have mental health issues, not necessarily criminal issues. Maybe they were trespassing or something. Maybe they were doing something that is found in the law book, but maybe they were doing that because they have mental health issues. I say that because I want you to remember that as you talk to people who have influence about how we need some place other than the Dallas County Jail to house people who have mental illness. That's not what my people do. Yes, we have Parkland professionals in there. But in the case of the laundry, one of our individuals had removed her bottoms. And so the inspectors came through as she paraded around, and she had no bottoms. And so they said, you know, what's going on here? Well, you want to say, yeah, you want to say, what does it look like? You know, she's running around without her pants. But you don't say that. You say, because you know what they're asking, you say, we provide everybody a uniform. And they said, well, we want to talk to her. It's not uncommon for them to talk to the inmates. That's when you want to say, really? Let's go down and talk to somebody who's got some pants on. But we want to talk to her. So they talk to her, and she says, they won't give me pants. You know. And so we just say, okay, we understand. And they're making notes, and we didn't know this would be one of those things that we would be gigged on. I didn't expect it because our personnel said, no, here's how we do it. We bring laundry over on day shift, evening shift gives it out, everybody gets a uniform. You know, we just need to find out where her pants went. Ironically, they were in the trash. But we got gigged on that because they want us to come up with a better system, which we've already done, and they want us to document when we give individuals. Now, it'll take a little more work, but we can do it. I'm telling you this because I want you to not think that we run a terrible system, because the truth of the matter is we don't. There are a lot of things that we have to do, and we try to do. I'm watching the clock here, Tom. But I want to share with you the kinds of things that when you hear or you read, oh, the Dallas County Jail didn't pass its inspection, I want you to be aware that it's not like they came in there and there was somebody with a cup, a tin cup, you know, on the bars. Give me food, give me bread, give me what. That's not what happens, okay? So this is why I want to share this with you. The other area was what we call our intake area. That is where people come into the system and they are booked in. And this was our wrong. This was our doing. It's kind of like if you go into a hospital room and they have the wrong room number up there. Yeah, but it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. So we own that one. That's our responsibility. The other thing involves some doors that needed some work. And the inmates, my mother says, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And when you have time on your hands, you start looking for little ways to do things. And so the inmates have come up with this thing that they do where they try to jam some of the doors, and they shove toilet tissue, book, or whatever up in the door to jam the door. And so it's a game, if you will, with the facilities of Dallas County, because every day now they have to come through that tower and hit those floors where those doors exist and repair those doors real quick. It's a daily thing. Well, when they got here on Monday, the inspectors, they noticed this with one of the doors. We told them this is an ongoing challenge for us. We're in discussions to have those doors redone so that they don't work the way that they work right now, so that when they try to jam the door, it doesn't work. And they said, okay, that's great. Well, you know, just go through and get all of those doors that need to be corrected. And so by day's end, there were 94 doors that we found that needed to be corrected and were in fact corrected, but we were gigged on it. Probably rightfully so, because it could be a security issue. But I'm saying that to you so that you have an understanding that it's not like there's like a dark dungeon where we put somebody and leave them and forget that they're there. They're little bitty things that if we don't meet those little requirements, or if it's just a bad time. And I'll also mention that we had 4 new inspectors this year, and I thought, when I saw them, I went, this is not gonna be good. So, is what it is. So, as I close, let me just say that your Dallas County Sheriff's Department continues to work hard and to strive to make sure that we're doing what it is that we're supposed to do in terms of seeing about the people who have been charged to our care, our custody, and our control. It is not something that I take lightly as the sheriff, and I have relayed that message to the people who work for me. I think they have received and they have accepted the challenge from me to make sure that we are professional, that we display integrity, and that we are accountable in all. So there's your happy report. Yes, certainly. Yes, ma'am. Right now, it's kind of skewed because of COVID and things stopping, and so that means that they're staying a little bit longer, but probably about 8 months. Yeah, it's a transitory place. They don't come and stay normally. This is the place where they come when they're in transition to some other place. Now, if they have a misdemeanor offense and the judge says, well, you go and you do a year and a half at the county jail, then of course they stay with us for a year and a half. But it varies.
All right, we have one more.
One more.
Well, 2 things. One, I want to thank you. You always come to our 4th of July parade.
Yes, we
And,
have great
and
time too.
participate in that. I really appreciate it. One thing I want to talk to you, that when you're in the parade, you love to get out of your car and go greet a lot of the white-collar criminals that you have let, so that live in the area. So you're really good about
Just want to say hi
that.
to them, you know.
But
Hey.
the problem with that is our parade ran 15 minutes later than it usually does. My question is, seriously, thank you for coming. It's always a treat to have you guys.
Thank you.
Does your occupancy rate in your hotel ever drop below 100%?
Right now, it's at 70%. Yeah, it's at 70%. We can house up to 7,800, and we're at 70% thereabouts right now. And I mean, my goodness, before COVID came, we were excited because we were like, 4,000 people plus. And when COVID came, we had 5,900 people in our facilities. And so there we were, and we were pleading with judges and parole folk and everybody else who had people who needed to take people out of our system. Please take our people, take them. And so what I did was I went to the judges and I asked them if they would please, I talked to the presiding judges, said, would you please ask your judges if they will look at this list that I have gotten from Parkland. This is a list of people who are medically vulnerable. Will you please ask them to see if any of these people belong in their court, and if so, what can they do to get those people out of here? So they were able to help us with that. So yes, to answer your question.
I've got one more since you mentioned COVID. Are your inmates vaccinated? Are your clientele vaccinated?
Some are not. I'm proud to say that we offer the first, second, or the third shot, but not everybody wants to take it. We respect that. We're not mandating that anybody take it. If they want to take it, it's available to them. We will also do testing if they want to be tested, you know. We'll test them. And that's what I want people to understand is Parkland services exist in the hospital, in the jail, just as they do in the hospital over on Harry Hines. It's health care, you know, it's good health care. So thank you again. I appreciate you for having me.
Sheriff Brown, thank you for being here today and making your presentation. And as you can tell, the Park Cities Rotary Club thanks you from the bottom of their hearts and for all you do for us. Thank you so much. In honor of you being here today, we will be placing a book in the McShann Elementary School in your name. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm honored. Thank you.
Let's see here. As we close out, next week's meeting will be by our speaker will be Robin Short, who is with the Workplace Peace Institute. Our chair for the day will be Mark Neese. And with that, let's see. I would like to invite Joy. You're here already. Thank you for leading us in our four-way test. So if you'd please rise.
Okay, so the four-way test. This is a test used by Rotarians worldwide as a moral code for personal and business relationship. The test can be applied to almost any aspects of life. So if you could read this along with me. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, is it beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
No, you can do it bigger. Bigger than that. Do it. There you go. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.